Hello from IBBY Australia. Today, Robin and Morrow and I are delighted to present our third IBBY talk, this time on the topic of alphabet books. We hope you enjoy all the discoveries we have made. But we did not limit ourselves to books which are currently in print, so you may see some older books here, which, while they may be difficult to purchase, we do hope some may be held in your local or school library. Our talk originated in a discovery by Robin Morrow as she judged books for the Hans Christian Andersen Award this year. Here is our definition of the alphabet book. As with many other genres, there is a lot of fun to be had when conventions are twisted or challenged. So we were pleased to find books which did not follow the expected A to Z format. In 1962, Maurice Sendak produced a set of books called the Nutshell Library, and one of the tiny titles was the alphabet book, Alligators All Around. This is especially interesting because it follows the idea of a much earlier alphabet book, A is for Apple Pie from 1886, which employs a narrative, not just a collection of objects. Horn books, which were small enough to hold in a child's hand, were among the earliest examples of alphabet books, and they were intended to instruct children, often alongside a Bible verse. In 1886, Kate Greenaway wrote a very different version where the apple pie is the centre of the story. So what is the purpose of alphabet books? We've listed 7 different possible purposes here, but we're sure there are others that you can think of. When writing an alphabet book, the author and illustrator have a number of challenges that you can see listed here. If you are using alphabet books for teaching purposes, there are also pitfalls to avoid. Here are 2. Even a master illustrator such as Brian Wildsmith could confuse a young child. We mentioned alphabet books are often published to showcase an illustrator, and you can see some famous examples here with characters such as Spot, the Very Hungry Caterpillar, Kipper, and Max, and illustrators such as Alison Lester and Leo Leoni. Spin-offs and merchandising are often popular with publishers. The best alphabet books do showcase wonderful art, such as this example from Brian Wildsmith. Take a minute to really look at his image of the unicorn. Here we have an alphabet book by Helen Oxenberry. On each page, she lists a series of words and then she cleverly links them through her illustration. There's so much warmth and humour in this vertical format book. This was one of her earliest publications. Here are a few more famous names: Julia Donaldson, Chris Van Allsburg, Mitsumasu Anno, and the Shaker alphabet by Alice and Martin Provenson. As we mentioned, alphabet books are often structured using categories. Here are a few examples of some topics. Alphabet books can be a really effective way to raise awareness of rare and endangered animals from around the world. This book by Tom Brennan shows an example. I was talking with a grandmother yesterday and she mentioned that her little 3-year-old granddaughter is beginning to sing the alphabet song and happily includes the word yak. The only place she could ever have encountered a yak would be in an alphabet book. Along with animals, plants also feature in alphabet books. Plantastic is a new title from the CSIRO. It contains delicate botanical illustrations of Australian plants. Moving on from more serious alphabet books, these titles have been written just for fun. In A is for salad, young readers quickly get the joke of looking past the animal. A is for salad, B is for Viking, C is for hot dog. What's going on here? My favourite pages are D is for remote control and the page with X and Y, which says X and Y are not important letters. Never use them. Here are some more examples which use a similar idea. Alphabet books can also be puzzle books. And then we have this masterpiece by Oliver Jeffers, who builds on the Kate Greenaway book, A is for Apple Pie. Oliver Jeffers uses the alphabet to structure his narrative. This book is sure to be enjoyed by older primary children. And here are 3 more, just for fun. These 2 books by Margaret Atwood cleverly explore and even exploit one letter. Here are 2 examples of using nature to create an alphabet book. These are sure to intrigue a young child and invite close examination. Museums, art galleries, and artists make perfect subjects for alphabet books. Here is a page from a National Museum of Australia publication. Alphabet books for older children and adults are out too. Here you can see big topics explored in alphabet books. We even found an alphabet book which explores the International Phonetic Alphabet. This one is very sophisticated and could be used in a high school art class. And here are some examples of Indigenous themes and Australian history, and books which show the way graphic designers love to play with the alphabet. I'm now handing over to Dr. Robin Morrow.
Hello, I'm Robin Morrow, and I'm going to mention a few aspects of alphabet books that particularly interest me. The English language had already conquered much of the world, even before the time of computers and social media. Perhaps a knowledge of the Roman alphabet that we use in English is needed by most children in the world nowadays as an entry point to this universally useful language. Contradictorily, this worldwide movement coincides with our own children being less in need of the old alphabet skills for looking up phone books and street directories and so on, because we have technological tools to do much of this for us nowadays. Here we have A is for Auntie, and when this book appeared in the year 2000, we welcomed Elaine Russell's vivid paintings of her childhood on the Murrin Bridge mission, with scenes of happy games and interactions with the natural world. But the grid lines in many pictures show that the cottages were lined up in very neat rows so that both adults and children were supervised and lacked true freedom. The letter I is for Inspection Day in this alphabet. Remembering the fact that many Indigenous people were forbidden to use their mother tongue, the English alphabet itself can be seen here as a metaphor for mission life, a structure derived from and reflecting the colonizing culture. Early on, we noted that alphabet books cannot be translated. Now here is an illustrator who has produced 2 quite different alphabet books for 2 different languages. Here's Kost Lavros from Ukraine, and these books were submitted to the HCA jury, including both my ABC book, the one with the 3 London icons on its cover as seen here, and Abeka with the very different Ukrainian alphabet, and 2 images from it are on the other side of this slide. I find these illustrations much more interesting, with their references to local culture, such as characters in beautiful traditional clothes with intricate embroidery. The 2 internal illustrations here are from this Ukrainian book, The Beautiful Angel Below, and to honor this brave country at the moment, here is a picture from the book of a school teacher showing students a map of Ukraine. The Swiss illustrator Catherine Louis, also nominated for the HCA, has immersed herself in Chinese culture. This one here is not really an alphabet book and reminds us of the difference between an alphabetic system and the Chinese system of characters, thousands of them, in fact. The title in English of this book is My Little Book of Chinese Words, which is more accurate than the one we see here. The book has 100 words from everyday vocabulary, parts of the body, household objects, etc. And older children would enjoy discovering another writing system, comparing the versions of the characters, traditional, modern, and simplified, which appear at each spread, and analysing how they are combined and how they've been translated into images. A little gem of a book. Iwona Kamilewska is Polish, but her picture books were first established in the Korean market, a very interesting international tale. She was shortlisted this year for the HCA Award for Illustration. Her work is innovative and thought-provoking. Here is a truly international book. And she has more recently published one called ABC.de, an illustrated, I think I'll get this right, Polish, French, English, German dictionary, which is also a tribute to German culture, wonderful for adults or language students in teenage. Even the title is a clever reference to German web addresses which end in .de. Now we come to Bruno Monari's ABC. Monari was a pioneer of modernist design. This English language alphabet was published in the US in 1960. It is acclaimed by experts in book design and typography. When the English-Italian edition, we see a page from it here, was published in 2003, notice that the items chosen did not always provide a word that began with the same letter in the artist's home language of Italian. We hope that you have caught some of our enthusiasm that Margot and I have developed for alphabet books and for the almost endless highways and byways that they can lead us along. And we'll end by showing you images from 2 erudite books for adults and perhaps nerdy teenagers to explore. And thank you for listening.